The forest breathed. Mist curled between ancient trees. The moon was a sliver, afraid to peek at the secrets below. Sleepy Hollow, a place whispered of in hushed tones. The villagers knew, they had always known. There was something in the air. It watched them from the shadows. Ichabod Crane felt it too. A chill snaked down his spine. He pulled his coat tighter, useless against the growing cold. The air grew thick with the smell of damp earth and decay. His heart pounded a frantic rhythm against his ribs. Each rustle of leaves sounded like a whispered threat. He shouldn't have listened to the stories. They were just stories, weren't they? He quickened his pace, his boots sinking into the muddy path. Every shadow seemed to twist and writhe. His breath came in short, panicked gasps. He wanted to run, but fear rooted him to the spot. Then he heard it, a sound that froze the very marrow in his bones, the pounding of hooves, a heavy measured beat that echoed through the stillness. It was getting closer. He whirled around, his eyes straining to pierce the gloom. A shape. Was that a shape? It emerged from the mist, growing larger, more menacing with each passing second. A horse, but not just any horse. This one was huge, its coat as black as night. Its eyes glowed with an eerie red light burning into him, and on its back, nothing. There was no rider, only an empty saddle. Then he saw it, held high in the air, a gruesome trophy, a head, the Headless Horseman. The stories were true. Terror lent him speed. He had to get away. He turned and ran, his breath catching in his throat. The sound of the hooves was right behind him, relentless, echoing. The horseman was gaining on him. Ichabod could hear the rasp of its breath, smell the stench of decay that clung to it. His legs burned, his lungs screamed for air. He pushed himself harder, fueled by pure, primal fear. He could hear the horseman's eerie laughter now, echoing through the trees. It was toying with him, herding him like a sheep to the slaughter. His foot caught on a root, and he stumbled, falling heavily to the ground. He scrambled to his feet, his heart hammering against his ribs. He had to keep moving. The bridge was his only hope. Legend had it that the horseman's power ended at the bridge. He could see it now, a dark archway in the distance. Hope flared, faint but there. He ran, his legs heavy, his lungs burning. But the sound of the hooves was getting closer. He could feel the horseman's presence behind him, a wave of cold dread washing over him. He didn't dare look back. He didn't need to. He could hear the pounding of its hooves, feel its hot breath on his neck. The bridge was so close now, just a few more yards. He could make it. He had to make it. He poured every ounce of strength he had left into one final burst of speed. He could feel the horseman's chilling laughter as it bore down on him, the sound seeming to sap the very air from his lungs. He threw himself towards the bridge, his fingers grasping for the rough-hewn railing. As the tale unfolds, we cross the Bridge of Hope, a place where many a traveler has paused, pondering the path that lies ahead. Here, the whispers of the past meet the promises of the future, intertwining like the ivy on ancient stones. Indeed, a legend never dies. It lives on, carried in the hearts of those who believe and retold by the winds that scatter its seeds across time. As we reach the end of our journey, remember, the echoes of this story will linger long after the last page is turned.